Another quick update on the progress for the V8 swap on the Liberty. I'm just waiting for a bell housing here for my mock-up transmission. That thing's just hollow for lightweight. I got some new wheels. I don't know if I showed on the last video. Got those mounted. Got the engine in there. I think where it's going to end up. Right now it's at a 3.5 degree tilt back. And I measured the pinion on the back, and that one's tilted up 3.5 degrees, so they match. And there is a 1/2 inch clearance underneath the oil pan and a 1/2 inch clearance underneath the crankshaft pulley. So we're good there. These are with using the Jeep mount still. And the oil pan underneath the cross member, or between the cross member and the oil pan, there's like, I don't know, 8 inches of clearance there. There's plenty with the Corvette style oil pan. And there was something else I was going to say. I ordered the LS Swap cast iron manifolds because they look like they were going to fit the best, because they run real close to the block and they dump out right about there where they need to be. I know the manifolds won't give the best power, but everybody says you won't lose much by using them. And this is not super high horsepower as of right now. As soon as I get that bell housing for the transmission, I can mock that up and build a cross member for the transmission. And then looks like that's a Corvette pulley, crank pulley. So I'm going to go Corvette spacing. I've already ordered the Corvette alternator power steering bracket and the high mount AC bracket. I've actually already have one in stock here to run the 508 compressor, which is nice up high because the lines are right here. Both the lines, they'll be easily run right over here with some custom connections. And I don't want to say anything yet, but the mounting on that Jeep power steering pump looks awfully familiar with the Corvette pump. So I may be able to run that, but who knows yet. My bracket will be here in a couple days. We can find out. That would be really nice. And then another thing I discovered is the pedal assembly that is in the Jeep. Two things. One, it's a 6-pin wiring harness. And I looked up the schematics and they're pretty much identical with how they work with the Chevrolet Silverado pedals. And I also put an 08 Silverado pedal next to it, and they're almost designed identically. So if I can't rewire this to work with the GM ECM, then I can just throw a Silverado pedal in there, no problem. But it would take a little bit of fabrication because the mounts on the Silverado, the two mounts where it mounts, they're in the same location, offset like that, but they're spaced differently. So I can get one to go on, but then it would have to drill another hole or something for the other one, which is not a big deal. And it sits almost exactly like the Chevrolet pedal does. So that's another win. A lot of things on this swap are kind of fall together pretty easy, unlike most custom swaps. You know, a lot of things like the mounts, the pedal, the power steering location, AC location, the Fuel line. Right there where it needs to be. Plugs right in. It's got the same pressure, everything. Evap. Right here where it needs to be. It'll go right on the motor where it needs to be for emissions. I mean, everything it lines up really well. So, I mean, fingers crossed. Next video will be in a few days when I get that transmission bell housing and get that mocked up into place and get a transmission mount built.